Hello and welcome to Soccer Now with myself, Samuel Reese, live from Lexington, Kentucky. Today is Friday, July 27th, 2018, and today's the last show of week 2 of this new show, and I hope you've been enjoying. And we have a lot to get to today on the program, and I'll tell you what we're going to be talking about. I'll get right into it. So we'll talk a little bit about an FC Barcelona Peña, the ins and outs of creating a supporters club. Also, Atletico Madrid took on Arsenal in the International Champions Cup. The final score, Atletico Madrid 1, Arsenal 1, and Atletico Madrid 3, Arsenal 1 in penalty kicks, with Vieto scoring in the 41st minute and Smith Rowe scoring in the 47th minute. So Atletico Madrid does win 3-1 in the penalty kick shootout. We'll talk a little bit about that, and that'll get us right into talking about Atletico Madrid's past 5 seasons. In 2017 and 18, they finished second in La Liga as the Europa League champ. In 2016 and 17, they finished third in La Liga and went to the UCL semifinal. And in 2015 and 16, they finished third in La Liga and were the UCL runner-up. In 2014 and 15, they finished third in La Liga and went to the UCL quarterfinal. And in 2013 and 14, they were the La Liga champ and were the UCL runner-up. So we'll take a look at Atletico Madrid 2018 and 19, a look ahead. And because they have not won La Liga Santander since 2013 and 14. So we'll be discussing that. And also, Antoine Griezmann has returned with a World Cup win and contract extension. So we'll talk about how big that is for Atletico. And we asked you, what will be Atletico Madrid's key to success this season? 25% said new talent, 41% said Griezmann, 29% said Simeone, and 5% said others. So I'll be reacting to those votes and discussing more about Atletico. Also, we'll talk a little bit about how Cristiano Ronaldo has had a tax update. The Juventus striker will avoid jail time and pay a $22 million fine. And also, there has been some good news for the fans of the beautiful game, as Sir Alex Ferguson has given an update on his recovery. So welcome back, Sir Alex Ferguson. The legendary Man United coach has posted a recovery update. So good to see that. And also, Liverpool has definitely had some summer spending that they have done, and goalkeeper Alisson is among Liverpool's summer acquisitions. And Jose Mourinho had to speak on Liverpool's spending. He said, "I can't see anyone getting close to spending what they have." So we'll be reacting to one of a lot of Jose Mourinho's comments over the last few days, as we feel like we get them on every show. And also, we'll talk about the transfer tracker, the top 5 transfer tracker stories. 5, Alexander Golovin has agreed to join Monaco. 4, Roma are after RB Leipzig's Emil Forsberg. 3, Man United has approached Harry Maguire. 2, Maurizio Sarri has been targeting Daniele Rugani. And 1, Milan sets a sight on Alvaro Morata. And also in Be in the Street with Jimmy Conrad, he asked the people what they think of the MLS All-Star Game. So I'll be giving my personal thoughts of the MLS All-Star Game. And also, Bradley Wright Phillips has netted his 100th as the New York Red Bull striker has become the fastest player in MLS to do so. And also, we'll talk about stock up, stock down. This is Andres Cordero of beIN Sports, his personal stock up, stock down, and I'll be reacting to that. In the La Liga, stock up was Luka Modric, stock down Lionel Messi, and we'll also be looking at comparing the two players each time and see how they did in the World Cup. So Luka Modric versus Lionel Messi, their World Cup stats. Of course, Luka Modric of Croatia, Lionel Messi of Argentina. Luka Modric and Lionel Messi, both midfielders. Luka Modric, age 32. Lionel Messi, age 31. Luka Modric played 7 matches. Lionel Messi, 4. Modric with 2 goals. Messi with 1. Modric with 1 assist. Messi with 2. And, of course, Modric coming in second place. Messi going out in the round of 16. So in the English Premier League, stock up was Romelu Lukaku. Stock down, David De Gea. So Romelu Lukaku versus David De Gea for World Cup stats. Of course, Lukaku with Belgium, De Gea with Spain. Romelu Lukaku, the striker, David De Gea, the goalkeeper. Lukaku at age 25, De Gea at age 27. Lukaku played 6 matches, De Gea 4. And Lukaku with 4 goals, De Gea with 7 goals allowed. Lukaku with 1 assist, De Gea with 0 clean sheets. And, of course, Lukaku coming in 3rd place and De Gea going out in the round of 16. And so, yeah, that's Premier League. And in City A, stock up was Ivan Perisic, and stock down was Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. And Ivan Perisic versus Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, their World Cup stats. Perisic with Croatia, Milinkovic-Savic with Serbia. Perisic, the left winger, Milinkovic-Savic, the midfielder. Perisic at age 29, Milinkovic-Savic at age 23. Perisic played 7 matches, Milinkovic-Savic 3. Perisic with 3 goals, Milinkovic-Savic with 0. Perisic with 1 assist, Milinkovic-Savic with 0. And Perisic coming in 2nd place, Milinkovic-Savic out in the group stage. And in Ligue 1, stock up was Kylian Mbappe, stock down Neymar. So Kylian Mbappe versus Neymar, their World Cup stats. Mbappe with France, Neymar with Brazil. Mbappe the right winger, Neymar the left winger. Mbappe at age 19, Neymar at age 26. Mbappe playing 7 matches, Neymar 5. Mbappe with 4 goals, Neymar with 2. Mbappe with 1 assist, Brazil with 2. And, of course, Mbappe ending up as the champ and Neymar going out in the quarters. And lastly, in German Bundesliga, stock up was Benjamin Pavard, stock down Robert Lewandowski. And so Benjamin Pavard versus Robert Lewandowski, their World Cup stats. Pavard of France, Lewandowski of Poland. Pavard the left back, Lewandowski the striker. Pavard at age 22, Lewandowski at age 29. Pavard playing 6 matches, Lewandowski playing 3. Pavard with 1 goal, Lewandowski with 0. Pavard and Lewandowski each with no assists. And Pavard ending up as the champ and Lewandowski going out in group stage. So we'll be reacting to all of that. A lot to talk about. And, of course, congratulations are in order. Christian Vieri and Costanza Caracciolo are expecting some good news there for the beIN Sportsman. So, yeah, that's everything we need to get to today. And let's get right to it. So we'll start off with the FC Barcelona Peña. I bet not a lot of people are familiar with it, but it is a kind of the Barcelona, basically the Barcelona diehard supporters group, and they are in the West Coast in LA for their game on the weekend and in the ICC, and there is a Los Angeles-based FC Barcelona Peña, and there are ins and outs of creating the supporters club. The great thing about it is that you get to go watch all the games with diehard fans and create one fan group in a big city like Los Angeles, and which is great. And you feel like you're right with the club and a big supporter, which you really are. But the outs of it is you have to pay an annual fee for it, but it's obviously worth it for those diehard fans. And also, it's hard to get together with a whole group because there's one Peña group in the whole city, like LA. But definitely great with seeing an FC Barcelona Peña. But some little fun facts there. But also, we'll get to the real news now. Atletico Madrid did play Arsenal in the International Champions Cup. I mentioned that at the end of yesterday's show, but we'll get more into that. That was yesterday morning. So the final score 1-1, Atletico winning 3-1 in PKs. Vieta scoring in the 41st minute, Smith Rowe scoring in the 47th minute. Maybe not names that many of you are familiar with, as they went with the youngsters, really. But so Atletico Madrid did win the shootout. So it was a fun game to watch in Singapore, and Atletico coming in with the day before, actually, and played pretty well. Their starters went starters for that game. A lot of them, some youngsters, but some regular starters too, played 7 minutes. So impressive from Atletico Madrid, and of course the goalkeeper Adán scoring the winning penalty after making 3 saves. So he really was the man. But so that leads us into talking about Atletico Madrid's past 5 seasons. Of course, last season finishing second in La Liga, but Europa League champs, which gets them the Champions League this year. And of course, finishing second would still get them the Champions League. But the year before, finishing third, making it to the UCL semifinal. And years ago, finishing third also as the UCL runner-up. 4 years ago, also finishing third as the UCL runner-up. And then 5 years ago, they were the La Liga champs and were the UCL runner-up. So definitely struggling with getting past Barcelona and Real in league play. Of course, last season they did end up finishing ahead of Real, but still, Real definitely with a struggling, unnatural season, and Barcelona really far above them. But so 3 of those 5 years finishing third. It wasn't until 5 years ago that they were the La Liga champions. On the other hand, they had somewhat success in Europe, considering for a club like Atletico, probably the third best team that you'd think of in Spain. But they were Europa League champs, and the worst they did before that in Champions League was to the quarterfinals, which isn't that bad, finishing going to the semifinals one of those years and finishing runners-up twice. So in Europe, it seems like that's where they've had some success. Obviously, they were very close to winning the Champions League in 2015 and 16. They hadn't been for that Sergio Ramos header that sent it to extra time. But that's just how the game is. And so definitely success in Europe. But the real question is, how are they going to find success in Spanish football, in La Liga? So we're going to look at Atletico Madrid 2018-19. A look ahead a little, because they have, as I mentioned, they have not won La Liga Santander since 2013-14 season. But definitely with Antoine Griezmann returning with a World Cup win and a contract extension, it really is good for Atletico Madrid, because Griezmann definitely with confidence after winning the World Cup, and the contract extension, the all more important piece of the puzzle for Atletico, because Atletico really wants him, and Griezmann really loves Atletico Madrid and the city, and definitely at many points it seemed like he was possibly heading out to Barcelona, but Atletico paid as much as they could to keep him. Who knows how much they can keep paying him more, or withstand how much money they need to sell him for if they had to. Because it'll end up getting higher and higher, because Griezmann, what a great player he is at Atletico. But who knows how much longer they'll keep him. But definitely a star player in Europe. And it's going to be huge for Atletico keeping Griezmann, because that's a key piece to what will get them success. And I have a feeling, I don't know about other fans, and especially, I'm not an Atletico fan, I'm a Real fan, but of course, but I don't know how Atletico fans feel, but I feel like this is the year that they can maybe challenge Barcelona for the title, as I don't think Real will be title competing this season. Who knows? I could be wrong, but we'll see. They had some good pickups, and it will definitely be an interesting season this year in La Liga for Atletico Madrid and Antoine Griezmann. So speaking of how important Griezmann is for the Atleti side, we asked you what will be Atletico Madrid's key to success this season. And as I said earlier, the results were 25% Newtown, 41% Griezmann, 29% Simeone, and 5% other. So according to everyone, it seems like Griezmann will be Atletico Madrid's key to success this season, which I definitely agree with, because Griezmann definitely the centerpiece of that team and the important part to get them. Who knows, maybe a La Liga trophy, maybe a deep run in Champions League. Who knows how far they could go. But it'll definitely be an interesting Atleti side this season in La Liga, and it will be a fun season. I'll definitely watch a lot of La Liga this season, keeping an eye on the big three teams. Just interested to see how Real will do with the new coach without Ronaldo, how Atleti will do with some new pickups in Griezmann staying, and how Barca will do with mostly the same team as last year who won the La Liga title. So how will they do in their second season? So it'll definitely be a fun La Liga season, and I can't wait for it. Also, a Cristiano Ronaldo tax update. As I mentioned, the Juventus striker will avoid jail time and pay a $22 million fine. So he has pleaded guilty to tax fraud, but he will pay the fine, as many would think with the money he has, he'd do instead of spending jail time, believe it or not. So we've seen other players face tax fraud, but Ronaldo facing quite a tax fine that he has to pay. But $22 million, I'm sorry to say it, but not much for Ronaldo. It's quite a bit, but for him, he'd rather pay the fine than go to jail and not play soccer. So crazy stuff going on there. But just an update there. And of course, there has been good news for the fans of the beautiful game, as Sir Alex Ferguson has gave an update on his recovery. So great news for soccer fans is, of course, he had to have immediate brain surgery after a scare when he fell. And it seems like he has recovered well. So great to see the great Sir Alex Ferguson recovering well. And it's what all soccer fans want to see. So welcome back, Sir Alex Ferguson, as the legendary Man United coach has posted a recovery update saying thank you to all the doctors, of course, medics, and to all the fans of Man United. And he said he will be back later in the season to watch Man United games. So still cheering on the Red Devils. And of course, even after that scary moment there, scary few months it's been now since that has happened. So, or weeks anyway. So good to see Sir Alex Ferguson back and recovered. So let's move on from that. Liverpool has done some summer spending. Goalkeeper Alisson among Liverpool's many summer acquisitions, really. So Jose Mourinho has more comments, this time on Liverpool spending. Mourinho said, "I can't see anyone getting close to spending what they have." A little friendly reminder of what Jurgen Klopp said, which I mentioned in last week's show. He said, "I won't spend," basically saying, "I won't spend big like other clubs do. I'll use it in a different way, but definitely spending big on Alisson." So Jose Mourinho just reminding Jurgen Klopp that people, he basically said people can change, and that's what has happened with Liverpool. But funny to see Jose Mourinho call out Jurgen Klopp on the spending they have done. But it seems like Jose Mourinho has comments just about every day on different topics of the game. But typical Jose Mourinho, really. So yes, that's typical of him. Let's move on to the top 5 transfer tracker stories. As I said, Alexander Golovin has agreed to join Monaco. Of course, Chelsea was looking at him, but Monaco in the end getting him, and a big move for Golovin after shining in the World Cup in Russia's phenomenal run. So believe it or not, at the World Cup, Russia, their whole roster was playing in the Russian league, but not anymore with Golovin going to Monaco. So good for the youngster going to France. And also, Roma are after RB Leipzig's Emil Forsberg. Emil Forsberg, another player who had a great World Cup with Sweden, as Sweden went all the way to the quarterfinals before losing to England. Of course, beating Mexico 3-0, a big result, and almost tying Germany until those last seconds. So Sweden, a pretty impressive World Cup, and Emil Forsberg, the center of that team, and great performance. The Leipzig man, could he be going to Roma? Also, Man United have approached Harry Maguire. The Leicester City man, he had a great World Cup too. Really, the World Cup, every time there is a World Cup, seems like it catches the attention, as you'd expect, of a lot of the big name clubs. looking for players who are on the lesser clubs, although Leicester did win a Premier League title, not one of England's big clubs. But so could Maguire be off to Man United after playing a great World Cup with England on Leicester City right now? He could be on the move. And also Maurizio Sarri has targeted Daniele Rugani, the Juventus man. Who knows, might go to Chelsea. Sarri targeting a lot of Italians, as I mentioned, being an Italian coach. And could Rugani be off to Chelsea? What a move that would be for Chelsea. And also, Milan has set sight on Alvaro Morata. So it looks like Morata will be off to Milan. And I think a good move for Morata it would be. And with Chelsea, it seems like a lot of transfers haven't gone through for Chelsea yet, but it looks like a lot may go through in the next week or so. And with that happening, it seems like it would be okay for Morata to go, as he just did all right with Chelsea. But definitely a big move. And Morata saying that he'd be happy with going to Milan. So it looks like that deal will most likely go through. And also in Be in the Street with Jimmy Conrad, he asked the people in San Francisco what they think of the MLS All-Star Game. And there were a lot of reactions to it. Obviously, the only soccer league in the world who has an All-Star Game. I definitely think it's fun because all the other American sports have it, so MLS does it too, and it's a fun way to see that all the stars from the MLS play, and I think the MLS All-Star Game is fun. I like the game, and it's a fun night wherever it may be every year. This year being in Atlanta, it's always a fun game to watch. But also, he asked, what do they think of the MLS All-Stars playing a big European club instead of doing East versus West? Me personally, I think there's ups and downs to it with doing East versus West versus having all the All-Stars play one of Europe's top clubs. But I think the positive of it is that if the MLS All-Stars do end up beating one of those big clubs, like this year playing Juventus, last year playing Real Madrid, if they end up winning, it proves that the MLS has good players and is a good league with talent. But if they end up losing to one of Europe's big clubs, it's a little of an embarrassment for MLS, because all the MLS the stars playing one club from Europe, of course a big club, but still, if they lose, it shows that maybe America isn't at the level of Europe's top leagues. But so there's ups and downs to it, definitely. But it's cool seeing them play big clubs like they do. So yeah, the MLS All-Star Game next Wednesday from Atlanta, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that will be a fun game to watch. Also, I didn't have time to mention on yesterday's show, but Bradley Wright Phillips did net his 100th his 100th goal as the New York Red Bull striker. Has become the fastest player in MLS to do so. So big congrats to Bradley Wright Phillips, as he passed Taylor Twellman as the fastest to get to 100 goals, as Taylor Twellman had held the record before that. Also, to end the show, we'll talk about some stock up and stock down. This was Andres Cordero of beIN Sports, what he put for each league. In La Liga, he had Luka Modric as up, and in La Liga, he had this is in La Liga. He had Luka Modric going up, Lionel Messi going down. And comparing them from their World Cup stats, definitely seems Modric with a great World Cup, really. He played 7 matches, 2 goals, 1 assist, coming in second place with Croatia, of course, and he was the centerpiece of that great run by Croatia. So definitely Modric, the great World Cup. Messi, on the other hand, not so much. He played 4 matches, 1 goal, 2 assists out in the round of 16. So not as – a lot of people thought Messi, this was his World Cup to shine, but not ending up quite like that. So let's go to the Premier League. Up went Romelu Lukaku and down went David De Gea. Definitely Lukaku with a great World Cup. He had played 6 matches, had 4 goals and an assist, coming in 3rd place with Belgium. And he definitely proved that he's one of Europe's best strikers in this World Cup. And we'll see how he does with Man United this year. Of course, Lukaku and David De Gea on the same team. But De Gea, on the other hand, he played 4 matches, allowing 7 goals, so about 2 goals allowed a game, with no clean sheets, and going out in the round of 16 with Spain. So disappointing World Cup for De Gea in the end. Of course, many would remember the not so famous play versus Portugal when Ronaldo scored. Embarrassing lineup, really. So David De Gea, not the World Cup he was looking for. Let's go to City A now. Up even Ivan Perisic, and down Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Perisic, also a great World Cup, along with Modric on the Croatia side. He played 7 matches with 3 goals and an assist, coming in 2nd place with Croatia. He really did have a great World Cup, and him and Modric really carried Croatia and helped them go all the way to the World Cup final. Milinkovic-Savic, on the other hand, was disappointing. A lot of people thought he'd have a pretty good World Cup to show that he's a good player on the Lazio, man. But in 3 matches, no goals, no assists, and was out in the group stage for Serbia. So definitely disappointing. Not a lot of he didn't really perform at all in the World Cup. And then let's go to Ligue 1. Up went Kylian Mbappe, down went Neymar. Mbappe played 7 matches, had 4 goals and an assist, and of course was the champion with France. So Mbappe, with a great World Cup, he got the Young Player of the Year award. I forgot to mention Modric. He did get the golden ball as the best player of the tournament. And Mbappe, on the other hand, got the Young Player award, just 19 years old, many forget, and performing like a top-level player. Crazy stats from the World Cup. Neymar, on the other hand, didn't have so good a World Cup. In 5 matches, he did have 2 goals and 2 assists, but went out in the quarterfinals with Brazil and was criticized for his flopping more than his performance on the field. So hopefully he can have a better Ligue 1 season, which a lot of people think he'll perform really well and prove that he's on a higher level than Mbappe. But we'll see. Mbappe rising right now and Neymar going down a little. But Neymar could most definitely bounce back. And Mbappe could definitely, on the way he's playing right now, it definitely seems like it keep going up. But at a young age, you never know. He could be inconsistent. We'll see, though. And lastly, in the German Bundesliga, up was Benjamin Pavard and down Robert Lewandowski. Of course, Pavard, in 6 matches, he had a goal. Don't forget, he's a left back. So he had a goal and was the champion with France. Robert Lewandowski, at the other hand, he's a striker, and in 3 matches had no goals and no assists and was out in the group stage. So it just proves to you how much better Pavard's World Cup was than Lewandowski, with the defender getting a goal, and not just a goal, a spectacular goal. I bet everyone remembers that one versus Argentina. But impressive stuff from Pavard. And Lewandowski, on the other hand, no goals as one of the best strikers in the world. And disappointing from Lewandowski for sure. But also to end the show, I wanted to mention that Christian Vieri and his wife are expecting a baby, and good for them. But that's why Christian Vieri hasn't been on beIN Sports in a while. But hopefully he'll be back soon. He really is a great analyst. But just a little fun news there. So yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on really. This weekend, make sure you watch ICC. Tomorrow there are 6 matches. It really is a great day. And enjoy all the ICC matches and more. We got African Champions League going on also, if you want to tune into that. And we'll be back on Monday, even some MLS going on too, and Liga MX, of course. So a lot of soccer to watch, even though we're in the middle of summer still, and the top European leagues haven't got started yet. But I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back Monday, same time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. And I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend.